subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man. What would you say? Because we're gonna get into Pimp getting locked up, but like, what would you say was like his personality versus like before he got locked up versus afterwards?
Oh, he was on fire before he got locked up. Everybody know that. He had dabbled and dabbled in some illicit drugs, and he was before that he didn't. I guarantee you, if I'd have been in Atlanta, all that shit wouldn't have happened like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I wasn't no yes man, and I'd be done told him, "Come on, man." So a lot of stuff happened when I wasn't around. I promise you. I'm not saying that I could just. He was his own man, and everybody know that. He took advice from certain people, and he weighed those advices out in his head. And a lot of times he would go with what I said or his mama said or something like that. But once you turn that switch on him and it went left, he gonna go all the way left. But the pimp after jail was more diplomatic, I would say. He calmed down. He got rehabilitated. Um, Looks like he learned a lot. In jail. He told me he did a bunch of reading. He ain't got nothing but time. He did a lot of reading, educated himself. I don't know, y'all know, Chad never graduated from high school.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Mm-hmm.
never graduated from high school. So he went full 100 with the rap career. And this was something to settle him down, educate himself a little bit more. And it did. And then when he came out, he was more. Chad was always a fuck you. He had a fuck you attitude about a lot of people. If you wasn't really in his clique, and oh man, fuck that,
Hmm.
fuck him, yeah, big time. But then when he came out, he seemed like he was more into meeting people. That's why you didn't hear a lot of features on Pimp before he went in. Maybe masterpiece, the ones you already know of, but not like when not like when he was in, and Bun was doing that free Pimp C movement.
Mm-hmm.
Bun was on a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I remember one time Bun came to Dallas. Fool, during that time, he and I rode around. Bun told me one time, everything you've ever heard me say, I've written it, gone inside the booth, and busted all within no more than 30 minutes.
Hmm.
And so one day we went to 3 or 4 spots, picking up the back end of a $10,000 for 16. Man, and he was killing them. That first spot, I think they felt like they got fleeced.
Hmm.
Because we was in and out so fast. I was rolling the blunt. He's writing the rhyme. He told me to go downstairs and count the money. I go downstairs and count the money. He coming out the booth.
Hmm.
That's how fast it was.
Yeah.
And we was on to the next spot. And we picked up went to about 3 spots that day, 3 or 4 spots, picking up his back end.
Man, tell me this story because I believe this happened in Dallas. And Pimp C talked about it on I Know You Strapped with you know I don't fuck with no K-Rood and all that. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like
I was there.
Okay, can you tell me that whole thing?
You want the whole story?
What the whole thing?
Okay. Okay, they had done a concert here in Dallas. Well, in Dallas. I was thinking I'm in Dallas at home. They had done a concert, and I mean, it was one of those radio concerts where a big event. Everybody's there. Southport, Mexican, everybody there. And I thought he had left. When he didn't leave, he called me like 2 days later. Bobo, you gonna be mad at me? I'm still in your town. I need some smoke. Bring it to me. When I go up there to the hotel room, he's in the presidential suite. And so I get there, I notice a guy that I been knowing from 7th grade all the way through. I graduated with this guy, and he's a big boy now. Big
In the
boy
streets.
in the
Yeah.
streets. Yes, and his brother's in the music industry, and so Chad takes me in the bedroom section, closed the door, and immediately bust out laughing. I said, "What's wrong with you, fool?" He said, "I done pissed them motherfuckers off in there." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I got that motherfucker mad. I got to talking about K-Rood in his face, and he didn't like that shit, and he tried to come to K-Rood defense, and so we've been arguing about that shit." I'm like, "Fuck that nigga, fuck K-Rood," and I'm like, "Damn, bro." I said, "Well, you know who that is, right?" So let me fast forward. Let me rewind. Excuse me. The guy that was there had been wanting to get in the music industry for a while, so he wanted to put money up, be the executive producer behind me as a solo act, with Chad producing the music. And one time, Chad, we had worked out all the the details and everything. Chad come down, um, and the guy never shows up to the studio to pay Chad. Well, that's the day Chad did the bitch get up off me beat.
Mm.
And Chad just said, well, you could have that, cause fuck him. And so once I told him that's who that was, that he didn't stick, Chad fuck with him and fuck with him and fuck with him. And then so how it was, the hotel had a kitchen area. It was the presidential suite. And he had his keyboard and drum machine, everything set up in the kitchen like a studio, speakers and everything. And so he went there smoking his blunt. Bobo, check this out. Hit that beat. And I'm talking about the beat was rocking. And he said, this is for them. I just made this for them. So I said, okay, cool. So I leave. They go do their business. 2-3 days later, for some reason, the guy called Mama and said, I want choices of beats. Chad's like, well, shit, man, we already in exchange money. That deal's done.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I guess Mama must have worked it out on between him and her, but not her and Chad. So, and Chad on one. I get to it when I get to it, nigga. And it was one of them type of things. And he didn't come back to Dallas, bro, probably for another year and a half, 2 years. And when he was coming down, that's why I tell everybody I sat on that bitch get up off me beat for a long time. Because I had it for about a year and a half before we even went into the studio and recorded it. We were recording it when that guy when he walked into that studio that time. So let me go, hold on. The day before we had a different studio, right? He knows he's got a problem with K-Rood, and we're like, imagine being like sitting down in the lobby of the studio, and right there where the gentleman's standing is the front where everybody's parking, and you can see the glass. We see a truck pull up. K-Rood jump out the truck. Oh, Chad lost his fucking mind. You done put me in a trap. You done put me in a cross. Blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker, we gone. So they were there to do that beat. That was their first time seeing each other in a year and a half. We're going to go ahead and take care of this. So as soon as that dude pop up, Chad, he gone. Fuck you. So we didn't get this shit handled, but it was your fault for putting us in a cross like that, really.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, as we said, we at the kitchen making hits and ends. We working on Bitch Get Up Off Me. And yeah, the guy show up I don't know how that motherfucker found us. Because we had a totally different studio. And the studio is called The Kitchen. And what's up, JP? Yeah, that motherfucker, man, showed up. And Chad was hanging with this guy. I can't remember his name. He was from Nashville. He was acting as security, guy with dreads and everything. And he was in that front back. He was in the front door, right by the front door in the men's bathroom. And the bathroom was more like a old gymnasium locker room. Had those old tiles that your grandmom used to have. Mm-hmm. And so it's wide space. And the motherfucker had a Mac 11. And he cocked that Mac 11, and you could hear it echo through the whole studio. And the dude was standing right outside the door. And he was like, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. And he heard that. He looked over there. He said, oh, I see what's going on. He said, well, Bobo, come holler at me. Pimp put his hand on my... Bobo ain't going nowhere. Nigga, that's my homeboy. That's my... Oh, yeah. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. And it just went... It went left, bro. It went left from there. And then that's when the next day, I guess, my man Ron, he put a hit on Chad Life, and the guy had to get in touch with Jay Prince and to see if he could kill Chad. And Chad, they had to have a meeting. It was some serious shit, bro. It was some serious shit, and they was about to try to do my boy. And so, fast forward, after everything's squashed, everything's taken care of. Hell, I think Chad might have gone to jail, gotten out of jail, and that's back when SWAT had first started coming on. And he called me. He said, man, I see this motherfucker on SWAT. He crazy, huh? He had everybody in Dallas know about this story. He was in a hotel room. Something had happened. Him and some young lady, and the lady was trying to get out. It wouldn't let her leave. The police show up. He don't know it's the cop. He shoot through the door and shoot a cop. And so when we wake up in the morning, It's a standoff on one of the major freeways in downtown Dallas, and he's in this hotel room. Yeah, so he ends up committing suicide that day.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, live. While everybody's streaming. Yeah, not streaming. Everybody's viewing. But yeah, ain't this trip how we talk now? Streaming and likes and shit like that. Yeah, we wasn't doing none of that shit back then. But yeah, and he called me, say, Bobo, that motherfucker was crazy for real. He was gonna cuss. I told you, bro. Motherfucker wasn't playing. I told you that dude wasn't playing. So, in other words, I was trying to rectify the situation within that year and a half. Because I mean, he didn't want me to stay in Dallas because he thought them dudes was gonna try to do something to me. But I was like, man, I'm all right. I know the dude, and I'm not afraid. But I just talked to him if I ever run up on him. And every time I saw him, that's all he said. I mean, you talk to your boy. No, but yeah, I talked to him. Talk to him all the time. But I wasn't talking to him about that situation. So yeah, that was a real situation. It could have went really, really, really bad, and it didn't end right there. It ended, I mean, I don't know if you heard the situation where the constable was looking for him outside the club that time.
Nah, what happened?
Oh my God, yeah, they had a show, probably about 8 months later, and the guy who owned the club, I know his name. We cool now, but Chad had gotten into it with him over some promotion shit. It was always about money or the sound system. Nothing else. It's always business. Chad ain't gonna get into you with you over no person, not over no girl, no bitch, nobody. Just business or family. That was it. He wasn't gonna let you talk to none of us crazy or his mama and the money. And so yeah, we opening up for UGK. I had done this song already in Dallas, and we opening up for him, and we outside waiting. They coming, and guy walking around with a big cowboy hat on. He ain't got no police uniform on, but he just showing the promo, the black and white glossy picture of UGK. You know these guys? You know these guys? I look at him, I said, mm-mm. I don't know them at all. Have you seen them? No, sir. And so as soon as he walked away, man, this nigga out here looking for y'all. And so when they got there, I was on stage, and I walked into the dressing room. They didn't get the message because I left a voicemail. And then I came in, I knocked on the door. They said, hey, blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, there's a nigga downstairs looking for y'all. He got this, that, and the other going on. Boo, 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 boo. Them motherfucker got up out that club, and it's a good thing they did because that night the club owner had lit that guy and all his killers up in that club, and they was gonna do something to them boys that night.
Mm.
Rap-A-Lot was in there heavy too. It was gonna be a war. It was gonna be some shit that we will probably be still talking about today. Yeah, Rap-A-Lot was in that motherfucker deep, and then they came. Yeah, yeah. Chad and them came in that club probably 5 to 10 cars deep. Yeah.
Donnie Houston.